My name is Rob Garza, Callie's dad. So I'm here to talk to you guys about a job, right? And what I do every day.
Yeah.
So who in this room, by a show of hands, knows what they want to be when they grow up?
I don't know.
All right, so about half of you. That's pretty good. Now here's the thing: when you're growing up, you think you want to be something, right? And then you get older, and that changes sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. And you get a little older, and it changes again, and changes again. So, and even people that are like my age, I'm 40 years old. Sometimes you still want to change, and you still don't know what you want to do. That's why it's important to have these career days so that you can kind of figure out other things that are out there. Because even though you're sure you want to be one thing, that could change as you get older, right? So raise your hands again if you know what you want to be. All right, what would you like to be?
A video game maker and own a store.
Nice, that would be good. What would you like to be? An astronaut? That would be awesome. That would be awesome. What about you?
I want to be a basketball player.
Basketball player? That's awesome. Sammy?
And I like to be a teacher.
Teacher. That's a great job.
I want to be a vet.
I'm sorry?
A vet.
A vet? That's a good job too. Animals definitely need help. So all right. Well, that's good. So now you guys are doing a great job raising your hands to ask questions. So I know there's a lot of you in this room, right? So I'd like you to make sure you're raising your hands every time so we talk when you want to talk, so that we're not talking over each other. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah.
All right. Sounds great. So I want to know who in this room had to convince their parents to take them somewhere.
Tons of time. Oh yeah.
All right, raising your hands. So, okay, where were you trying to convince them to take?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? All right, someone else. Where were you trying to convince them to take you? Goliath, huh? All right, so let's say that I'm your parent, right? And you want to go on there, but I don't really want you to go on there. How do you convince and persuade me to let you go on that ride? The upsides on it. That's awesome. That's really, really good. So what else? Tell me more. You beg? Okay. Sometimes begging works with parents, right? It doesn't really work with other people, but it does with parents sometimes, right? So all right, so how else, if you wanted to convince your parents to do something, Rihanna?
What I do is I say that I'll do like chores for a day. Like if it's something like really important, I say that I'll do like all the chores.
That's a smart idea. So you tell them about the upside, right? You beg them a little bit, and then you ask them if you could do some chores in exchange for it, right? All right. Now, who in this room has tried to convince their parents to buy them something recently? What was it? Okay, I can't hear, guys. Let's keep it down. Let's keep it down. Go ahead. Speak a little louder for me.
I asked my mom and dad if I can have a mic for my birthday.
A mic, huh?
Yeah, I had a really
Okay, and how did you convince them to get you a mic?
well, like I did some chores.
Okay, you worked for it? Okay, good. All right, you can put your hands down, guys, it's fine. Okay, yes,
Are you a superhero?
I sure am. All right, what did you want to buy?
It was yesterday.
Okay.
And I asked my mom for Lego sets because I've been grounded recently and I'm going crazy because I mostly play video games at some point. So I've been playing with my Legos that I
Okay.
forgot one about. And I'm like, Mom, can I have some Lego sets? And she just sat my silence and I just walked back out playing with the flying house and airplane.
All right, great, so Legos, and you want to convince your mom to get you Legos. So if you want to convince her, how do you convince her?
Well, puppy eyes don't work on her.
Puppy eyes, yeah. All right, how else would you convince her?
I would say that I'll do more chores around the house if I just play with Legos more because he grounded me.
All right, so you do something for her, right? So that she'd do something for you. So all right. So I'm a salesman, okay? A salesman is somebody that sells something to somebody else, right? So the same way that you convince your parents to take you somewhere or to buy something for you, that's what a salesman does every day, right? So their job is to help somebody buy something. So let's say you wanted to buy a Fortnite outfit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so you'd have to a salesman would help you find what outfit you need and help convince you to do it. So that's what salespeople do, right? So every single cool thing that you could possibly imagine, a salesperson's involved with it. So let's think of, video games, right? A salesperson sells video games. So who plays sports? What sport do you play?
Basketball.
Basketball, okay. So somebody has to sell the basketballs, right? And in a basketball stadium, someone sells the tickets, right?
Yep.
Yes. Soccer? Okay, great. So at soccer, someone has to sell the soccer uniforms, right? So every single thing, even the books in this library, someone had to sell these to the school. So you can be a salesperson in any hobby or interest, that you'd ever want. So that's what's cool about sales. So let me ask you, what would be what would be some characteristics of a salesperson? What would make a good salesperson? Yes.
A car dealer.
Well, car dealers are a salesperson. So what would make somebody a good salesperson? Like what kind of traits do you need? Yes.
If they're good at persuading.
Persuading people, perfect. Cache.
Negotiating.
Yes, if you're good at negotiating, right? So you can make a good bargain.
Good at communicating with other people.
That's probably the most important, communicating with other people, that's right.
Being nice.
Yes. You ever want to buy something from someone that's mean to you? No, not at all.
Anything is good.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Charisma.
Charisma, very important. Yeah, that's a great one. Rihanna.
Someone who's like not grumpy and not happy.
Yep, that's right. Be happy, be optimistic, right?
They have good prices for what they're actually selling.
Yeah, that's true, right? Yeah, you can't overcharge too much where it's not worth it, right?
I have two. They have to be truthful and they have to be confident. Not like so confident that they'll say, "I'm sure you'll buy this because it's at a good price." That's basically lying. If it's like $200, you say it's at a good price. It's like at $19.99. That's literally lying. And if they see like the price tag and they see your lie, they'll just like probably a couple years later get a lawyer and then sue the business.
That's a very, very valid point. And you're 100% right. You have to be truthful and you have to be honest, right? So you guys did a heck of a job of figuring out those traits. Those are very important. So let me tell you a little more about my job, right? One more trait that you have to have is being creative, right? Being creative also. So I was at a sales competition in Disney World a couple weeks ago, and I had to sell a certain brand of a product, right? And so this on my back, this is the brand, try this. So to be creative and be different and make people, think you're optimistic and happy and truthful and and good communicators and all the awesome traits that you all just named, I decided to make a commercial about the product. And then after I played the commercial, I came dancing out in this outfit and gave a presentation to the group. So it was really scary. There was like 300 people watching. I was so nervous. But I'll show you the commercial. Might not make a lot of sense to you if you don't know the product, but could you help me out here, bud? Could you hit this play button? It doesn't like my gloves. It doesn't work with superhero gloves.
These margins, at this rate, we're never going to hit our own budget and get a bonus. The only way we can make more money is by cutting our costs. it's strawberry time. Come on, man. You don't use your money myself on my job. Thanks, strawberry man. Let me call my manager and see if he can match that price. Hey, boss. Yeah, I'm here with Quentin from Jones Roofing. Yeah, those alphabet villains are back at it again, and they can beat our price by $2. Do you think we can match that? Wow! Strawberry time! Come on, man! We don't match prices! Come on, man. Let's give you a better value with a higher quality product with their Tri-Bill line. What do you say? Thanks, Captain Tri-Bill. Thanks, Captain Tri-Bill. Hey, Billy Bob, welcome to Beacon. What can I do for you? Gonna get some of that there synthetic? What kind? Doesn't matter, OC. All right, let me get you typed up. Wow, it's Tri-Bill time. Come on, man. Hey there, Billy Bob. Our Tri-Bill synthetic is our overall best value. How many rolls can I get you? How about 5? Thanks, Captain Tri-Bill.
All right, so it's about being creative. Did that catch your attention?
Yeah.
So you think if you're trying to sell something, it's good to catch someone's attention?
That's funny.
Yeah, it is, right? So, so it's important, you know, when you're trying to sell somebody something, you use all the traits that you guys talked about, right? And that you're creative, you catch their attention. Now, another very, very important thing of being a salesperson is building good relationships with people, right? You use all those traits that you discussed, and you build a relationship, become friends with them, and they trust you. And so when you do that, you can do that a lot of different ways. But one of the ways that I do it in my business is we go and do fun stuff together. So I've been able to do a lot of fun stuff. So I went and saw whales in Mexico with some people I was trying to have a business partnership with. I went marlin fishing. I went to Canada and went on out in the middle of nowhere where I showed up to the place we were going and there was a black bear on the front porch. I went to the Kentucky Derby. Has anyone heard of that?
Yeah.
Big horse race, right? And we've gone there with some people. What else? I've gone to see some race cars. We actually had a race car and we put my company name all over it. And we brought a bunch of our people up there. Kelly was there and had a race against other cars. That was pretty awesome. You know, done a ton of different things. Who likes the Bears? One time I brought a whole busload of my customers to a Bears game in Detroit. Who do you like?
A lot of other teams.
Oh, anyone but the Bears? Yeah? Thought maybe you were from Wisconsin or something. So one time we went up to a Bears game and we stayed at the same hotel as the Bears, and I got to meet a bunch of them. I was in the elevator with them and they were in the lobby, and it was really cool. Got to hang out with a bunch of the Bears players. I know we had some basketball fans. You ever hear the Indiana Pacers? A couple months ago, I rented out their basketball court and got to play on their court. And all their players came out. It was right before a game. So all these things help build relationships with people, right? And that's part of being a salesperson. So my job, I'm what's called a sales director. So I cover Indiana and Kentucky, and I have 20 salespeople that work with me, and we're all on one team, and we try to sell roofing, siding, and windows to contractors to go install that in people's houses. So you guys think roofs are important to have?
Yeah.
They are, right? Like everybody needs one. What would it be like if you're trying to sleep and you had no roof?
Oh. It'd be crazy.
Right?
Next time you know, just bears hopping over
Right.
your wall.
Right, exactly. Kangaroos would definitely be in your room if you lived in Australia, for sure. Bugs and everything. Yes, buddy.
How do you tie the boxing gloves?
It's very difficult to do. You have to be an expert. So that's part of being a salesperson. You know why it's important to be a good salesperson? Because you could help persuade people and help them do things that they want to do. But the best way to do that, so like I said, show them the upside, right? So you have to think not why you want it or why you want them to do it, but what's in it for them. Like why is it better for them? So let's say, for example, that does anyone here want their parents to give them a phone?
I already have one.
Okay. All right, I got you. Everyone, hands down. Thank you. So if we wanted to convince your parents to buy you a phone, how would we do that? We'd show them what's in it for them, right? What's the advantage for them for you to have a phone? Now, if you one quick second. So if you went to your parents and said, "I want a phone because I wanna be on Snapchat all day long, and I wanna play Roblox, and that's all I wanna do, and I wanna sit in my room and not exercise and just do that all day long." You think they'd want to get you a phone?
No.
Probably not, because they probably don't want you doing that all day long. So what's in it for your parents to give you a phone? Yes.
I would clean the whole house, even though we have 3 stories, because I like cleaning.
That's great. You like cleaning. Yep. That's yes. But,
I have one.
yes.
We could like call them in emergencies. Like say if we got kidnapped and we don't have a phone, what are we gonna do? We're just gonna be lost forever.
Great point.
And they're not in the room or they're somewhere else without the phone. Call 911 or call our parents.
Great.
Go get 911.
So if there's emergencies, right? So that's important to your parents, right? If there's emergencies, you can reach them. Yes.
What was it? I'll shut up.
Keep going. I'll come back to you.
I'll shut up if you give me a phone.
I don't know if that's gonna work. They probably like to hear you talk.
No, she doesn't.
Hey guys, keep it down so we can hear Rihanna. Yeah, so if you're playing with a friend or something, they need you to come home. All right, so that's how sales work. You have to show them what it is that's gonna help them out. So I wanted to see if we have a volunteer that'll come up. And now this has gotta be someone that's willing to stand in front of everybody and try to sell us something. All right, Sammy, come on up here. So Sammy, I want you to try to sell to me why I should join basketball. Now, here's the thing though. You have to try to think, why would I want to join basketball? What's good about it? So you want to talk about some good things or why it's important to me, right? So first you would have to start out by asking me questions. Like,
Will you have fun doing it?
you know what? I think I would have fun playing basketball because I like to run around.
That's great.
It's great. Why else should I join basketball?
I think it's a nice sport that you can shoot and jump.
You're right. It is a very nice sport, and jumping's healthy, right? So you're saying that I could have fun and I could be healthier? Well, that's great. What else is great about basketball that I might like?
Yeah. You might get to get the ball out and get to shoot and make your team happy.
Oh, you get to be on a team with your friends?
Yeah.
Really? Well, that's something I like. I like hanging out with my friends. That's awesome. Well, that's great. So do you see how Sammy found the things that might be important to me and why I like it? I would love to play basketball. Thank you. Now, Sammy, for volunteering, you get to pick one of these out, but you can't eat them until you get home. Pick out one. Or you could buy one and you could sell it to someone else for more. All right. I need another volunteer. Wait, why does everyone want to volunteer now? I don't get it. I don't get it.
I wanted to be good.
What is your name? Chloe, I am Mr. Rob. Good to meet you. So, all right, so let's make sure we can hear Chloe. So, Chloe, I'm a student and I'm just moving to the area and I'm trying to decide what school is the best school for me to go to. And I'd like you to try to convince me to come to your school.
I think Greenlands is a good school because there's like an elementary side where it has 4th and 5th grade, and then there's no school side, so we basically go to have the same school.
Oh, so that's nice, because it's important to me not to have to switch schools every 2 years. So that's good.
Yeah, plus you'll meet all your friends, and like the next year you'll be host.
That's a great idea. I like that idea. So what else would I like about this school versus another school? Now, you know I like to play basketball. Is there a basketball team here I might be able to join? There is?
And there's lots of like sports you can join.
There is. Other sports? Well, I like other sports. That sounds good. How about the teachers? That's important to me.
Yeah, they are very nice.
They are nice? All right, good, because I've had some before that were mean, so I want to go to a place where there's some good ones. I heard they're the best here. All right, great. Great. What else do you think I'd like about the school?
All the subjects like art, math, and stuff. The teachers kind of make it like fun.
I like that fun. All right, great, I'm going. Thank you.
She's a big.
All right.
She's a big dummy.
All right, last one. We'll get the gold bears. All right. You seem very anxious. Come on up here. Come on up. Sorry, why don't you stand over here, buddy? What's your name? All right, I'm Rob. So you tell me why I'm debating if I should read or not read. What would be good for me to read? Why should I read books?
That's why you gotta read them on when you say them.
That's right. And do they make me smarter?
Yes.
Yeah? They help me learn about things?
Yes.
Okay. So if I didn't know something, but I really wanted to find out, could I find that information in a book?
Yes.
I could? Great. Well, I'm going to read. Thank you. Here you go, buddy. So, all right. So, you guys understand how that works, right? You got to try to tell someone like what's good for them, and then they may want to buy something from you, or you can persuade them and help them understand why they should buy something from you or work with you, right? So that's. Did anyone have any other questions about it? Yes.
Do you sell only stuff for houses, or do you sell other stuff?
I only sell stuff for houses, but a salesperson can sell anything in the entire room, every single thing. Like if you look around this room, somebody sold this whiteboard, somebody sold, it looks like whatever that is, the projector, all the books, all the shelves, the floors, the ceiling, every single thing in this room, somebody sold it. So that's what's cool. So like, what's your favorite thing to do? Baseball? All right. So you can sell baseball hats if you want to, right? Or you can sell baseball shoes, the spikes, right? What do you like to do? With your dogs? All right, great. Hence being a vet, right? So okay. So you could sell dogs if you wanted, or you could sell dog food. You could sell dog kennels. You could sell tickets to dog shows. Well, that's what you said. Anything you want to do that sounds fun, that you like, you could be a salesperson at. Now, here's something that's important about a salesperson. If you have a college education, you could do a lot better in sales. Now, you don't have to have a college education, but there's lots of different kinds of sales jobs. If I wanted to go sell F-16 airplanes, I would need a college education. If I wanted to, sell computers, I would need a college education. You need a college education to sell roofs and siding and windows too. What else you guys interested in? Yes. Yes, sir.
I like playing toys.
Toys? All right. Are there toy stores? Right. So you could work in a toy store and sell toys, or you could sell for the company that manufactures all the toys and sell them to toy stores. Right. Now here's the thing. You could be a salesperson for a product. Right. I think we're talking about a lot of products, but you could also be a salesperson for a service. So say like a delivery service, right? Where you're not actually selling a product, but you're selling a service. Or let's say somebody that's a photographer, right? A photographer is telling you that they're gonna go take all these beautiful pictures of you, right? Right, and then they can sell you the picture, right? So there's a lot of different things that you can do. All right, any more questions?
Are you good at convincing?
Pardon me?
Are you good at convincing?
Am I good at convincing? I think so, yeah, that's what I try to do to help me with my job.
I need help in convincing my parents to get me another dog.
Well, you know what, that's gonna be 100% on you. I think if I showed up to your house in this outfit, I'd freak your parents out. But now you kinda know how to do it, right? You know how to do it a little better. If you wanna have that conversation with them, what do? You tell them what's in it for them, right? What the advantages for them are.
They told me, nope, we're getting no dog.
I would try it again, talk about them and how it's gonna help them. Yes,
I have 2 questions.
all right.
Is that you in the commercial?
Yes, that's me.
And then my other question was, is everyone gonna get candies at the end?
Yes, you gotta have a piece of candy.
Yay!
Yes.
I think that we could force my stepdad to get another cat. He doesn't want
Well, you're gonna have to work on that on your own, but hopefully you know a little bit more how to do it though. Yes, buddy.
Surprise him. Can you actually
just
someone
surprise.
with candy?
You could always trade anything, right?
Yeah.
So it's just, you just gotta make the deal up front and say, I'm gonna want this, but I need that from you. All right, guys, just a couple more minutes. Let's keep our voices down so we can hear.
Do you work from like an office?
You know, that's a good question. So I cover 2 states, right? So I don't really work from an office. I work out of my house like 2 days a week. And then I travel around to different cities and I meet with customers. So if there's a business that I'm trying to, that maybe installs roofing, then I wanna go meet these guys. So I'll try to set up a meeting. And usually we'll meet up at a restaurant or, go have a cup of coffee together, and sometimes their office. And then we'll have a meeting and we'll talk about, what, if they buy material from me, if they buy roofing from me, of, what I can do for them to help them and help their business. Yes.
This is something that I really like to play with that I'm about to ask you, have you ever sold? Have you ever sold in their restaurant?
You know what, I have never sold in Nerf guns. But you know what, it doesn't mean that you can't grow up and sell Nerf guns.
And that's fun to sell. And that's what sell anything because I want to be an active guy.
That is a great job.
Makes Valpo a better place to live.
Oh, that's awesome, I love it. Love it, yes, buddy. I just sell roofing for your house, and then for big buildings too. So, you guys have, the 9/11, right, in the trade towers, and they built a memorial. We sold the roof for that memorial. So we've had some very important buildings. The Pentagon, where the government is, we sold the roof to the Pentagon. Yeah. Yes.
Have you ever tried to persuade somebody and they said that they didn't want it?
Yes, all the time. But you gotta try to you can't just give up then. You have to keep trying to persuade them or show them in a different way how it benefits them, like what's good for them, until they understand. You just have to help them understand why it's gonna be good.
Basically, if they say no, you can't just go around and say, you're gonna buy this.
Good point, you cannot do that. And they might not wanna see you again, right?
Think about 2 more questions, guys.
2 questions, what we got, go ahead. Yes. That's the only commercial that I made. That was just for this one contest. So, all right, who hasn't asked a question yet? All right, you have last question. All right, who else hasn't asked a question? Go ahead, Don.
How long have you been doing this job?
You know what? About 15 years. So for a long time, but I've had different jobs in different areas. Like I used to work only in Chicago. Then I used to only work in this part of Indiana. And then I had like, different parts of Indiana. And then now I have Kentucky. So. All right, well, thank you very much for listening. Hopefully you all learned something. But thank you. I appreciate you all hearing this out. You had great questions.
All right, thank you, Mr. Garza.